let's see, Lee Farrell, Lee? All right, I was gonna ask you, say so. I think we've got, two other candidates, the county commission candidates, for District 3, Palmyra District. The, Ed Duffy, the incumbent, and Mr. Lester Leggett, the challenger. What order you guys want to go in? Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
What do y'all call it?
Heads.
Heads? You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay. Mr. Leggett? Well,
Thank you, Mr. Duffy, for letting me go first. This is my, I guess, my first real run for any sort of political office I have in the past. Served in a national organization, and that sort of thing. And I did serve on the utility authority here in Lee County. Basically, I think Mr. Duffy and I are not very far apart on the things that we believe and the things that we stand for. I will just tell y'all what I stand for, and then Mr. Duffy can follow up. Basically, what I stand for is careful, responsible use of taxpayers' money. And I believe that the taxes that we all pay in Lee County ought to be used for benefit of the whole county, not just for one particular section, not just for one particular development, not for, just to make one set of developers, to make it easier for them to develop their section. Sometimes that's hard it's hard to say no. When I was on the utility authority, we said no a lot. And then we said yes to something that we still haven't seen any results from. I didn't say yes to it. And it's not too long after that I was removed from the utility authority. I think that we have to, in this time of decreased income to the county, decreased income for all of us, decreased revenues, we have to make hard decisions. And I know that the budget committee has been making some hard decisions. Some things may have to be put off. There are a lot of great ideas that have come before the county commission. We can't fund all of them. Things that we have to fund are, we have to have public safety. We have to have a strong law enforcement. We have to have enough deputies to cover the county at all times. I've met several of the deputies. I've talked with the sheriff. I know what some of the problems are. We have some really, really good deputies that have amazing ability to cut to the chase and know what the problem is and solve a problem without, on a very individual basis. We have to have EMS coverage. Our population is getting older, not necessarily in all sections of the county, but the population on a national level is getting older and living longer with more health problems. So we have to have the resources in place to have someone to go help. Have a ambulance crew to go help, a well-trained ambulance crew. We have some of the best trained EMTs and paramedics in the country. Two really good training programs in Dark County. fire coverage, I know that a lot of us moved to Lee County. When I moved to Lee County, you know, there was not a fire station in, you know, I didn't know where the fire station was. Had no idea. And I was thinking, well, if my house catches on fire, this joker's gonna burn. You know, so I tried to you know, build a house that was less subject to that happening. With small children in the house and matches and things, that's not always the case. But we need fire coverage for all the county. And I know that there's been in the paper recently that talked about one of our fire stations that may have to be manned with volunteer fire service. I talked to some of my neighbors when we were first out there in Pebble Ridge, and it's hard to get somebody. It's hard to get people to go, even though they know that you need it. People don't want to volunteer to be a fireman. Okay, it takes a special type of person to be a volunteer fireman. It takes a special type of person to be a fireman. Most of us, if the house is burning, we're running the other way. We're not running into it. And the last thing is I believe that each constituent has a voice in our government. We may not necessarily like what they're saying to us. When I was on the utility authority, there were times when I thought, man, you know, how many times are we going to have to listen to the same story, you know, about somebody's water and about somebody's, you know, somebody's hot water tank's full of lime. Well, mine is too, you know, and you just want to just say, you know, but the man or the woman has gone through the steps to get their 3 minutes. They can come. As far as I'm concerned, they have the right to stand up there and call me a blue-footed jackass or whatever. Okay? It's their 3 minutes. I need to be quiet. God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth. I need to listen at least twice as much as I speak. Even if I completely disagree with it, it's their time. You know, if you listen enough, even to voices that you don't necessarily agree with, you just might learn something. And you might learn that, number one, maybe your opinion is wrong. Number two, maybe your opinion needs to be modified. Or number three, you might learn that this guy's a nut, you know, one way or another. But you always learn something. And you have to give people their time. Sometimes it makes you get home a lot later than what you'd like to. You know, utility authority, they got where they would bring us all a Snickers bar and a bottle of water to every meeting because sometimes they went on a long time. Anyway, that's where I stand. I don't think that Mr. Duffy and I are very far apart. I hope that we both run a nice, respectful race. I plan to do that. I know that there's a lot of people out there that disagree with me. There's a lot of people out there that disagree with Mr. Duffy. We'll run a race, and we'll see how it turns out. And you know, if nothing else, competition will make us more clearly define what we stand